Yes, we are used to today that work means getting into your car, driving to a certain place. Whoever said that's how we meant to work as humans? Right? Nobody ever said that's how we're meant to work as humans. So the new way that's coming about is going to define how work looks like. It's going to tell us that I can work from anywhere. I can work anytime. So I really want us to think forward around how we bring about that new. And I actually don't call it the new normal. We've coined at Vodacom a thing we call next normal.
It's exciting, and everyone's got to be open to change. And the faster we make that change and sort of open ourselves up to adapting, the more successful we'll be.
What COVID has demonstrated is the importance of a digital strategy and the importance of having an asset and presence in the digital world.
It was a very smooth transition as such, and we also not having policies in place where we are forcing people to work from home or to come back to the office. We haven't really changed this because we are a global organization. We are waiting for head office to come up with some guidelines so that we actually know how to tackle this going forward.
Businesses need to realize that this pandemic is basically a warning sign. 2021, we could have another outbreak, a different virus, a different situation.
Now we are back to level 1, and most organizations are calling for employees to come back home or to come back to work, And for the past 6 months, people are now used to the new normal of working from home, and now they have to go back to the office. So it's on the human side and maybe human resources, we need to start on putting the policies of how do we then operate.
There's definitely a role that technology will play, can play, should play in enabling progress for people and delivering better. But it has its harmful effects. And I would like to see much more, of conversation around that and how we reconfigure our lives and our values to make sure that humanity isn't negatively impacted more than what COVID has done. There is an element of strategic gifting that technology and technology-led industries sometimes get into that detract value from the customer.
There are a couple of technologies that are going to be at the forefront of all of this movement, even in the construction sector. And those technologies exist today that can help us to integrate people, process, and machines. So we need to get to a point where we have all the resources that we require to be able to open up the economy and to start to build these airways or these highways that are digital highways that can connect people in all places, rural and otherwise. And government needs to come to the party by helping in the construction.
We might take it for granted that, there is infrastructure, people can just buy data, but the cost of it makes it very difficult.
There's requests coming into business now. Can you create the offline functionality so that we can still do business when the network is down? Unfortunately, that will be the reality for South Africa for the next few years.
How do we level the digital access playing field on a geographic basis across South Africa? And that includes everything from telemedicine to distance education to companies operating in a small town, but who are able to operate through a digital platform and still partake in the economy going forward.
We have to make a fundamental shift in our heads that we are living now in a different world. And we have to challenge all the practices on how we've worked, how we've lived, how we've socialized. And when we find those inefficiencies in that are not speaking to the digitalization, then we have to change that to get to a point where we are aligning these things. Then you'll find that we will unlock a lot of pockets of value that can allow us to fund this digital roadmap that we all need to embrace in our own person, at work, and also as a society.